Geek Dad Life presents Geek Dad Live, and tonight we're going to be talking about that gigantic Tiamat. Looks amazing, but it's in vinyl. Was that a mistake? We'll talk about all of that and more tonight on Geek Dad Live. Everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay, and with me tonight, one of my favorite people in the ToyTuberverse, Brick Something.
Is he talking about me? He's talking about me. Oh,
Talking
thanks,
about
Jay. By the way, you did this today. I think that was beautiful.
Did I? I don't even know what I did.
Today,
you kind of just get into some zone and you just roll with it. We got a lot to talk about. This is the last I guess there's another stream pre-Comic-Con, but that's gonna be the official pre-Comic-Con live stream. Guest host on that one's gonna be Ryan Dole. Sent a lot of invites out to industry folks, so you know who knows who may show up in that one. That's our big pre-Comic-Con show, so that's next Sunday. But even still, we got more Comic-Con reveals this past week. We got Tiamat, which we got to talk about, and then we got a really cool Kickstarter launching this week for Brutal Realm. We have some members of their team joining us later in this episode to talk about it. So a lot of things to dive into. But before we get in, and I got a bunch of announcements too. Okay, I got to announce the next mini-series for Toy Geeks podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be announcing that tonight. We're going to be, let's see, what else? We got the official, I guess I already announced it before, but still we'll officially announce it. The ToyTubers Unite panel. We got, I don't know, a bunch of stuff we got to jump into.
Cool.
So let's say a little, before we do any of that, let's say hello to the chats. Hopping as always. Let me scroll back a bit here. Let's go. Quip is here. Mo2D, Brian Carr. Hey, you're in the chat too. Paul is here. Jay Combs collecting Star Wars. Dora Laxian, Neil Hunter Hyde, Liquid Identity. James, I'll do him again. Mint with Card is here. Jack Knight, Tony Taylor for Tony Taylor Toys. Adam Durant, Thanos, TNT. Daryl Robinson is here. Andy Silva, Joey Curell in the house. Gady's Toys. Wages of Cine. Country Boy Niner. Free Reign is here. I do Jake comes again. Mecha Man Blade is here. Toy Geekosaurus in the house. Jack Knight, Rabbit McGavin is here. Ashnod in the house. Tree Shaker is here. Rock Nerd Radio. Jace. Jace did the original artwork for our ToyTubers Unite Part 2. So it's going to be exciting. Trust me, it's really good. Michael Miller, Alex, Mike Moen, and so many more. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hang out with us. We got a super chat already from Matt Bush. Replay crew tonight, family vacay. Oh, well, thank you for the super chat, Matt Bush, and hope you enjoy your family vacay time.
Yeah.
And speaking of Matt Bush, 23 months GDL family member, as well as Brian Carr. You got family.
I got family
with the GDL family. All right. That's the intros. What things should, I guess, easy things first. This everyone's announcing their Comic-Con, or at least because official Comic-Con is posting their schedules and stuff like that. Well, Saturday, 2 p.m. local time in sunny San Diego, at the SDCC, we will have part 2 of ToyTubers Unite. Once again, a great panel featuring Pixel Dan, Toy Anxiety, Toying Around, Mad Hatter Reviews, and myself. There will also be a special guest appearance by the Mondo Toys team. Apparently, they don't have enough time in their own panel to reveal or dive into things, so they're going to be showing up, maybe revealing more stuff at this panel.
Nice.
So you don't want to miss it. 2:00 Saturday at Comic-Con. And should be a ton of fun. We had a ton of fun last year. If you aren't at Comic-Con, don't worry. We'll live stream it again. Cool. So that's part 1. Part 2 of that is I believe, and I have to like doubly confirm, but I believe I think it's the same location. Is it the same location? Yes. So it's at the San Diego Central Libraries. There's an auditorium there that they use for different panels. But if you're in, usually if you even don't have a badge, but you're in San Diego, you could probably show up to this panel. It's a little inside tip for anybody that's in the San Diego area that wants to come in to this. But should be a fun time. It is 1 year of buying Secret Wars from Jay. And Ryan Dole, I'll have you know, I drove to John's shop this weekend along with other things that I had to send to you, as well as Dan Crispex or something to send to you, as well as John. It's all there, ready to be packed up and shipped to you. It's coming, my friend. It's coming. But yeah, super pumped for
That's great.
this.
You gonna have enough mics and all that this year?
Did we not have enough mics last year?
I don't know. I feel like there was something about like they just kind of threw you in, and I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing it up, but you got a lot of people at that table this time.
Yeah, we do. It's I think we have enough mics for I will have to figure out how to bring the Mondo crew up, but we'll roll with it. But anywho, that really excited for that, to do that again. And thankful to San Diego Comic-Con for letting us come back. They take notes while you're doing your panel and stuff, and like how many crowds are there, the engagement, stuff like that. And I don't want to say that they use that the next year to invite you back or not, but luckily we were good enough to be brought back for a second year.
That's great.
Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about the next mini series for the Toy Geeks podcast. For those that have been paying attention to the Toy Geeks podcast, it's been a lot of fun. If you don't know what it is a podcast where we dive into your favorite toy lines 1 year at a time. And the first mini series that we did was on Masters of the Universe. It is hosted by Dan Larson of Secret Galaxy and myself. And we had our big finale last week with Masters of the Universe, the motion picture. And you probably ask yourself, Jay, why wasn't there a new episode? Well, there's 4th of July holidays and stuff. Plus, we're recording ahead of me being gone for Comic-Con. So there will be no episode this week, but there will be one next week. Comic-Con week will be the premiere of the next Toy Geeks podcast mini series. And Justin Moen, yes, Brutal Realm is going to be on tonight. So we have a new mini series. Any guesses from you, Brick, on what would be a good follow-up mini series for this?
Oh man, let's see. So I know that you were trying to go big then small.
Yep, but I changed that up a little bit. We changed that up a little bit.
Never mind. You threw me off, and I don't have any valid guesses. So no, why don't you just tell me, Jay?
Okay, it's not huge. I will say it's not Gigantor
of the era, 80s.
Of there, but I think it's a heavy hitter. I think.
Okay. Are you gonna jump ahead to like? Yeah, those are some good guesses. I didn't even think GoBots. That would be kind of fun.
GoBots would be fun. I mean, literally everything's on the table with this stuff.
Are you still thinking? Is it something that's going to be quicker than Masters of the Universe?
It's going to be shorter than Masters of the Universe. It is going to be shorter.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no guesses.
Let's bring our little teaser out for the next mini series. On Toy Geeks Pod is Mask.
You say Machina. Oh, Mask. Excellent. That's cool.
So starting week of Comic-Con, so that Tuesday, our normal release day, we will kick off our next mini series on Kenner's Mask. And super pumped about that. We'll close the mini series with the cartoon. I know with Motu we kind of did it chronologically. But I think it'd be fun to kind of close with the cartoon because it's so great. So it'll be 85, 86, 87, I think are the years. Maybe it's 88. And then we'll close with the cartoon for a nice little mini series on Mask.
Are you able to share who you'll maybe be bringing on as guests to talk about this? Because I know you brought in a bunch of cool people along with you.
We did.
And Dan. Are you doing that differently this time, or
no? Invites are going out right now.
Okay, so you're going to have other folks as well.
Yes, I've got one confirmed, even though he's super busy. I think we're locked in for the cartoon episode.
Nice.
Producer of the Getting Lost documentary, Ralph Oppel, will be joining us for that one. Huge mask.
I know that guy. I know that guy.
So that should be the finale. And working on guests in between. But why do you know anybody that's like a diehard Mask fan? You think it'd be a great guest?
No, I mean, there's like Ken who was really into it. No, I just was curious because that was part of the charm of, for me, the Masters of the Universe. Definitely listening to you and Dan go through it and hear all the, awesome research that you're bringing in that Allison does. But then it's like we get to hear different perspectives of folks coming through with different levels of expertise and passion. And
agreed.
And Dole. So yeah, it was good.
Ace would be fun. We talked about that. Anyway, invites are being sent out. If you haven't gotten an invite yet, don't stress.
Fun, maybe a little awkward, but fun.
We had to right. It's probably a little awkward, but anywho, really excited to dive.
That's great.
We've already recorded episode 1. It was a ton of fun, which is Dan and I. And then from there on, we'll finish out the rest of the toy line. So that's it.
Cool.
Man, pretty cool. All right, so there's that. Oh, okay. Speaking of Ace,
man, you've got all sorts of stuff. What you got?
So remember Cage set or CAG set? Calling it. So Ace updated and fixed the or lowered the hood. So he sent me a replacement, and I wanted to share it with all of y'all.
So much better.
Yeah. So if you remember, I did the review it originally, and I was like, it's nice, but it it's too thick or something. It just didn't really sit flush. And this new one sits way more flush.
Yep. Closer to the movie. Flatter, meaner looking good. Yeah, it's good.
I think that's everything.
Did he give you the guns too? Or did you just get a canopy?
I have the guns. Well, I already had those. I have those somewhere laying around here.
Oh, okay.
But you just sent me a direct replacement for the hood.
Gotcha.
So
cool.
So there you go. They work. Everything's fine. Everything's great, everybody. All right. Brick, let's just jump into it because I want to make sure we have enough time for our friends from Brutal Realm.
Yeah.
Tiamat! Where do you stand? Are you pro Tiamat?
I am pro Tiamat. I am excited that we're getting a chance at a Tiamat on our shelves again, and one that's going to look particularly like on model to the cartoon in a great way. But I do know that it might not be the articulated dragon that everyone was looking for.
Yes.
But
so
yeah, go ahead.
No, please finish your thought.
Well, no, just because this guy did this YouTube show and he asked a question. He was like, had this intriguing question. We're getting a big Tiamat, but is vinyl the way to go? So I'd love to explore that question with you, Jay.
Okay. I think if you want to keep this thing attainable, or is it obtainable? Obtainable? Attainable?
Both.
Obtainable?
Both I think are fine to get it and to be able to get it. Yeah, they both work.
Both work. Good. English is stupid.
You're not wrong.
I think I'm okay with it personally. Just because again, like it for me, I'm boring with articulation. I am so, as the kids say, basic. Maybe the kids would say mid. I'm mid with articulation. Okay. Like I'll get it into one pose that I like, and it'll probably stay in that pose for years on my shelf. But I like the autonomy to choose that pose. Now, vinyl's not so much giving me much autonomy. It's kind of what it is. You can kind of move around a little bit. But for something so big to basically have the cost, I think I'm okay with it as long as That savings in cost of articulation and plastic goes into paint to make this thing look as good as these renders.
Sure.
But where do you, I have stats from Kyle, by the way. I also have I basically spec'd out the sizes and dimensions and made a cardboard cutout to give a sense of space and scale. After you share your thoughts, Brick.
Okay, bummer. I was hoping that Kyle would be here because I had some questions.
Ask, and he said he would love to be here, but he had a family thing that he had to go to.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty busy the next couple of days. But I am fine with it. One, I love all sorts of toys, and they know what they're doing in terms of the vinyl toys. The Reptar is fantastic. They did from Rugrats.
Yep.
And it looks really good. They've done some other things. They've got the big old Peanuts ones, and they're gorgeous. So like they can take a model, right, and replicate it and in vinyl and give us something beautiful looking, which at the end of the day, I would love to have an articulated Tiamat, but let's be real, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. That said, I don't know what this is going to cost either.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that I'm waiting on my Cyberzoic Arctic Dragon from Creative Beast Studio. And that thing moves beautifully. It's gorgeous. But I also know it costs a good amount of money.
How much was that again?
A couple $100 on Kickstarter. I don't know what it's going to be on retail. About $2. So I don't know what it's going to be at retail.
Yeah.
That said, I think it's absolutely going to be fine for most people who are basic or mid or vanilla with their posing. No, but for real. Like, and and this is not a diss because I have, my thoughts on Super 7 and I like their figures and they are great for a particular type of collector and market. And so they're not super posable either. Like there are some things you can achieve with them and then there are other things that you can't. So to go with like, you're not going to get, I don't know, you're not going to get Hank to be able to do like crazy dynamic jumps.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense for Tiamat to be all crazy posable necessarily. I think if I'm with you, if they can achieve this, great. The one ask I would have had is at least make the wings maybe movable or maybe replaceable. Like you see how the arms and legs plug in like many vinyl toys? If they had like wings that were like, okay, there's up wings and there's down or something so that it's not constantly in this like, like you get like certain figures and they're always like, and they're like, just like that.
Yeah.
That's my one note. That said, if they can bring this thing in like not too far from $100, that would be amazing. Do you have any idea how much it's going to cost?
I do, but it's not for me to share.
Got it. Okay.
So I gotta
poker face. That's fine.
I won't lie. I've heard what they are going to, but I'm not going to share it. Publicly anyway. But I do have where is it at? It is things. Okay. All right.
I think it's cool looking. It's absolutely cool looking.
Well.
And props for getting the pronoun right on the teaser stuff for the show.
Oh yeah, I guess people do forget she's a she.
Yeah.
Anywho, all the joints are swivels, so more like a supersize and ultimate is what he said.
And real quick, when you say all the joints, do you know what those are? Are we talking arm, legs, head?
I have them listed. Otherwise, you'd be looking at a $600 dragon if they did the fully articulated toy dragon. So that's what they're trying to avoid. You could probably tell yourself, I would have spent $650 for an articulated dragon. I don't know. I don't know.
Those are the same people that said they would have bought a Cobra Mother ship, but didn't. So.
Yes. Is that enough? Don't know. All right. So joints in the legs, tail. There's 3 points of articulation in the tail. It's a tail times 3. Base of the wings, necks, and head.
Okay.
So there's articulation, I guess, isn't really.
So there is on the wings.
Yeah.
So it's not what we're seeing here. Sorry, I think that's what you were saying. It kind of got cut off. Okay. Okay. So there's potentially more movement than we're actually seeing in this immediate render. Fair.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So the dimensions on here mention the length and height. So 19.6 inches and 15.6 inches. It didn't mention the width, so I asked Kyle what the width was, and he said 15-ish inches. He didn't have the exact specs. So with those measurements, I made a little cardboard cutout with the box to one of my box fans.
Real quick, this better be up to Doc Brown's model standards. Otherwise, you fail as a Back to the Future fan. Ah.
All right, let me move this camera. All right, so oh shoot, where's my camera? There we go, Google Chrome. Move it. There we go. All right. So like the wings are the highest point, the head is a little bit lower. 19.6 and then the 15.6 inches high, and then about 15 inches wide. So so that's about the size we're looking at.
Okay.
How does that feel to you?
That feels healthy. That width right there seems really wide. I can't picture that from the model.
Like put all the heads and necks and stuff.
Sure. But okay. Yeah, that's going to take up a lot of room on people's shelves. That said, it's smaller than a Cat's Lair. It's smaller than an Eternia. It's about the width of maybe a Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, thereabouts. Maybe a little bit wider.
It's big. It's really welcome to the land of make believe.
But yeah, so about that big.
Let's be real. You're not a stranger to giant toys like that, so you could fit something like that.
I guess. I don't really have room. I need to sell one of my 2 Eternias, but
just back there by Galactus or something.
Yeah, probably somewhere back here. I have their vinyl Pinocchio.
Yeah, you do.
I think you put towards that too.
I did. I did. It's big, but it's great. Like it should be big compared to those 7-inch kids, teenagers. Actually, I don't even know how big the teenagers are. I hope they scaled them all. And real quick for comparison, heads up, that Arctic Dragon cost me $222 shipped.
$222. Okay. And what was the length on that bad boy? I saw it.
Geez, it's almost 3 feet long because the tail extends, but it also is can be maneuvered, and it's fully
articulated. Yeah.
It's fully articulated. I don't know what they sell it at retail for yet. I know they have the model for $350, but I don't know about the articulated figure. So so who knows? But just for comparison, big dragons are being made by people and are being made available. So, and highly articulated ones.
But remember something that I'm learning more and more with licensed toys as I talk to more and more people that make toys that are licensed. A lot of times the price has nothing to do with the actual what's being put into the thing.
There's a bunch of other stuff.
Not even just having to pay, say in this case, Hasbro, whatever that money is, right? Not just that. Sometimes just like you can do this, but it has to be this much. I don't care what you cost you to make it.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind.
Fair enough. And it's not, it's always hard to sort of compare like, well, they sold a dragon for this size. But
it's really hard.
Well, figuring that their figures are roughly $55. They've sold the Reptar for that was well over $100. That was almost $200, I want to say, and that's really is just a big body with not a whole lot of articulation at all. Less articulation than what you described. I don't know. It's big. It's not. I don't know. I gotta see. I might be interested actually. If it moves a little bit more.
It does more than I think the renders put on.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want me to ask the chat? Should I how should I frame the
poll?
Where are you gonna get this?
Yeah, see, the trick is like you did this for the HasLab with the Cantina last week. For those of you who are actually gonna get it, like, come on.
That's true. But I feel like it was genuine because the responses were significantly lower than the norm, right? We got nearly 300 people watching right now. Speaking of which, everybody hit the like button if you haven't hit it yet. We got amazing guests coming on in a second from Brutal Realm that are going to show some pretty cool stuffs. Put it not or rated R-ly. Or not even PG-13. We were watching Sandlot today. There's some good swears in Sandlot, by the way.
I am curious. Okay, how about this? Ask them about the where they would, what their price threshold would be.
Ooh, okay. What's the price?
Like, would you spend more than this? Would you? Can you do multiple choice in the polls? You can, right? Not just
I up the 4 options.
Okay, give them a range.
For a vinyl Tiamat, how much would you spend? Say, what do you say, like $150? How much is that Reptar?
Oh, geez. I thought it was over. I'll take a look, but I think starting at.
What do you think we should say?
Sure. I would say one of the options should be 100 to 150 because there are folks who are gonna whatever. I am kind of curious. Super 7, and then go up from there.
Well, I'll say 150 to represent that. 250 or maybe 200.
295, dude.
290.
No, I'm telling you, that's what Reptar was.
Oh, 295?
295.
Oh, shoot. Okay. 290. So let's just say 300 then. 200. 300.
Yeah.
200. Well, shit. Well, damn it. I'm gonna put in the 100, then 100, 200, or no, 100, 150. No, because everyone's just gonna pick the 100. Let's do 150, 200, 300.
It's more like what is the most you would spend? I am kind of curious too.
I'll put in 400, even though if Reptar's 300, I don't see. Yeah. Okay.
This is just a reminder. This is a thing that is not really available. This is it's funny. I'm about to say might be the last shot at this line.
Oh,
but honestly, that's what I thought Hasbro was.
Toy companies break. You're like, this might be your last chance.
Well, yeah, but you're like, I mean, what is the life of the cartoon Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, it's got to be like, yeah. This is it. Probably.
Yeah.
I'd guess. The Dungeons and Dragon toys did terrible at full retail. Even though I think their Toon figures are pretty good, aside from terrible QC issues, but the figures are pretty good. But you're right. I feel like the audience for animated Dungeons and Dragons is
small,
tiny out of those.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a ton of crossover. But well, I mean, there are definitely folks who love Tiamat, obviously, just for Dungeons and Dragons. But that's not. They might say that's not my. Tiamat. That's not my Forgotten Realms Tiamat or whatever. It's just, it's different. It's different. All right, that's our options.
All right, get your votes in, people. We got 63 votes. 286 people watching right now. Give your votes, folks.
While you're at it, hit like.
And hit the like button while you're there. I don't have anything to give away today, but where are we at as far as likes? 107.
He's going to give away that scale replica of Tiamat to the lucky winner if we hit 4,000 likes. So
if we get 200 likes, I'll ensure that I take this tape off and put it in recycling.
You just ship it like that. Confuse the UPS. They'll be like, what am I
just
doing?
Get a sticker on it.
Where's the rest of it? Like, yeah. See how it fares.
Brian Carr. I'm sorry I missed your super chat. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here goofing around. $5 super chat from Brian Carr. Tiamat should be a huge crowdfunded beast. He needs to be massive and articulated. I don't know. It's a great question. They probably would never tell us.
I will say, let's just, if we could just game this out and think about it. They tried with a G.I. Joe item, G.I. Joe having its fan base.
It does.
The size of it is, and it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon Tiamat. I don't think they were banking on being able to crowdfund this thing.
And so you take this vinyl route, make it cheaper, and then there's less risk, so you don't have to do a crowdfund for it.
Well, so when I say crowdfund, I mean like a whole big shebang that kind of is a little bit embarrassing when it doesn't fund.
Yeah.
It's a little less embarrassing if you do what they've done before and you say, we're going to put it on pre-order, which is essentially, they treat it the same way. Oh, sorry, we didn't hit the numbers.
Yeah. And kind of
And
just
then
more
it just doesn't
quiet.
happen.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this poll. I don't want to keep our brutal realm friends while I'm waiting anymore. So for a vinyl Tiamat, how much would you spend? We gave 150, 200, 300, 400. Where do you think the chat went?
I'm cheating because I'm looking at the chat right here.
Come on. All right.
Well, you revealed it on that end. Yeah. I watch this show, so it's just habit. It's just on there.
Yeah, 41% of you said $200, your max. 150 or 39% said 150 dirlers. 12% said 300. 5% said 400. I would look at Reptar as your comp, probably.
Yeah.
So
they got to find those diehards. I mean, that's really, I gotta say, like, that's where Super 7 hit that sweet spot. Whether it was like the end of the 90s. So at the end of the 90s, they were mining IP that was not getting the attention and the love that it needed. So they built themselves on that model of pulling these somewhat obscure things and making them available. And people were just excited to like, here, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I've bought many a Super 7 thing that fit that criteria. And then we hit the era of Mo 2 after getting that from Mattel.
Yeah.
Then Ninja Turtles. And it was just like, I feel like it's a whole other dynamic between the fans' expectations and that. So I feel like we're back to that sweet spot of like, hey, like this is a super relatively rare IP that people are gonna make things. So if you want it,
the LJN Tiamat toy is expensive too. It's not easy to find,
and it's not that cute in my opinion. So I think this thing's gonna be gorgeous, and like if you want it, I could see them going 300, even 400, and hoping that people are hungry enough for it. I mean, think about it. That's the centerpiece.
Oh yeah.
Like they just did the Thundercats, and it's like you've got your multiple centerpieces. We thought, oh yeah, the Thunder Tank, great, and then it was like, no, here's a Cats there. That you can build a display around. You need something for your animated Dungeons and Dragons by Super 7 figures.
Yep,
this could be it. So
this is it for sure. And honestly, you don't even need the. I think it's just cool on its own. Like it's a cool ass.
Yeah.
Six-headed, 5-headed dragon. She's freaking cool.
Yeah. Voiced by Frank Welker.
Which is that's all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit. A gear that I know you like to shift to over on your YouTube channel.
Oh man, I shift like every 2 minutes because I think I have a version of toy ADD.
Trust me, that's my life. I just I'm learning every day to live more and more.
I know
how my brain functions.
I'm in good company. And real quick, sorry in advance to the folks who were looking to talk Vecna, because I think there were some folks who were interested in that.
Well, like
my fault.
We'll do Brutal Realm for like half an hour or whatever, and then we'll circle back to the other stuff.
Cool. Let's bring these guys in.
But for those that don't know, there is a Kickstarter starting, and if you love sword and sorcery, Masters of the Universe, Conan, I think this is an indie toy that is pretty incredible. I think Pixel Dan just got a couple what do you call those? Like they're not painted prototypes. Yeah. And they scale really well with a lot of other toy lines that you love, indie and professional.
Yep.
But
he said indie and professional, but yes.
Indie, I guess indie is professional.
It's all professional, but yeah, the corporate, big mainstream retail, mass retail lines.
Corporate.
Sure. So we're talking, it'll work with your Mythic Legions. It'll work with your classified, really, if you wanted them to go get the Masters of the Universe. Like, the Masterverse is a little bit bigger, but that's okay because they're Eternians. But it'll work.
Where's they post the pictures from? Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Right now.
So I love how they tiled their Instagram for these beautiful shots by 16shooter Trevor, who's in the
yes, he is.
Chat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And over on his today, he released clear images of both of those guys too.
But yeah, just give a sense of scale there.
Look at that. Oh, what's that one on the far right? It's a good lion type thing.
Little AWOC for you. A little bit of AWOC.
Oh, that's cool. I like it. I need to buy some of those.
But anyway, let's welcome from the brutal realm team, James and Jason. Welcome.
Hey.
Jazz hands. Hey,
What's happening, guys?
Brick something. It's a pleasure to finally see you face to
Yeah,
face.
that's what I was saying to Jason before we
Yep.
started too, man. Good to see you.
You've been so supportive, and your guest you had on earlier on your channel, Badass Reviews, Carlos Espino. How do I say it?
Espino.
¿Cómo se dice?
Espino.
Lo siento.
Espino Carlos. Yeah,
Sorry, I
chilling
love
like
Espino.
villains, man.
Awesome. Thanks. You guys, I really appreciate both of you a huge amount, and so does Jason.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Speak for him.
Very, very much so. Yep.
So I guess, if people are seeing this for the first time, like what's your elevator pitch for this toy line?
All right. So 112, highly articulated, barbaric, high fantasy, dark science, wondrous magic toy line, where we take everything that we wanted to see, kind of an amalgamation of the fantasy that we grew up on, and then the live action movies during the 80s that we were inspired by, and bring them both together and create something a little bit more for the modern collector. We're still diving into some of that nostalgia from our childhood, but we're also trying to make it a little bit more for us today, as just like G.I. Joe Classifieds is bringing it up, Masterverse is making things a little bit more for the adult collector. We're trying to take all that high fantasy and that magic and mystery of the 80s and create it into a toy line, something really cool.
Well said.
Thanks, sir. Yeah, I got it from you. You gave me the script before we got on.
And hey, wait, hold on. There you go. There's Brick something right there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
look at that guy.
Yeah,
And my
man.
brother. Look at that.
But something that I love that this, and no knock on, like, we're big Masterverse fans here, we're big Origins fans here.
Yeah.
But something that I love that the buck that you all have kind of locked in on for your figures is they kind of get the proportions, like those kind of exaggerated proportions that the OG 5.5 inch sword and sorcery toys got. But the articulation does look really advanced.
Thank you. And as everyone who follows us knows, this is actually the old body. So we've actually created two bodies that bring that to fruition. If you scroll up, any of the unpainted
There you go.
figures that you see, that's the new body. And it really shows off the articulation. We have proportions that are a little bit more realistic while still being super bulky and built out. Our inspiration is Lou Ferrigno in terms of body type. I don't think anyone is better than him. So, yeah. And if you scroll up, you can see other pictures that have the accessories on them, like Pixel Dan's photo right there. I don't know why I'm pointing the screen like you can see me, but but yeah, and that has the accessories on it, and that still has a little bit of a glaze on the chest part, so the chest is looking a little bit more bulbous than it should. Once we add paint and sand it down, it won't look so boobage.
Yeah, it's just the resin that I printed it in is kind of shiny. For some reason, the accessories, they came out nice and matte, but the skin is nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like it's glistening in the sun. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, he's sweaty.
Um,
And
Yeah.
we're still working on proportions. We're always tweaking, trying to get it just right. We, are in contact with factory in China, and they have our sculpts, and we've got numbers locked down. And but as we get things back from the factory, or before we'll finally send it, we're going to work on a few things more. So the shoulders, we still want to tweak just a little bit more, and then there's a gap in the wing. We want that to be filled out a little bit more. Kind of like how that He-Man is, but it'll all look a lot better once it's all finished. Just trust us. If you see what we did from 1.0 to 2.0, please continue to trust us. Even though we're launching our Kickstarter the day after tomorrow, all we're going to do is just make this better when we finally ship it to you. So.
Absolutely.
Those
are our basic barbarian figures right there, our basic offerings. Each one of those guys will come with a standard weapon, whether it be a spear or a sword or an axe, depending on the
character.
The character. Yeah.
But I just love how it can actually pull off this pose.
Yeah.
I early on admitted I'm kind of mid when it comes to my posing and stuff like that, but
we're gonna force you to get better at that,
right?
we don't accept vanilla posing here. I'm the most vanilla poser in the team, and I try to really push my figures. So.
That was my try hard right there.
He's killing it. He printed this out. He learned how to prototype print in a month, and is also an amazing poser at the same time. So he's killing
I try. Got a lot of time on my hands.
But to your point, a lot of times, or maybe it's even in my own head, it's kind of you start to feel limited by what articulation can do for you on average, right? And seeing that it has this level of mobility, or will have this level of mobility, kind of helps you break out of that vanilla posing box, because you're like, I know it can do this, so now I want to try to do this.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you might not be able to achieve I might not be able to achieve the poses, but we want you to get this figure in your hand and just want to move it, and maybe watch a Conan movie, or so many other Excalibur, Dragon Slayer, which is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Beastmaster,
Beastmaster. Yeah, let's keep
Barbarians,
going.
Red Sonja, let's go.
Is Barbarians the one with the twin brothers?
It's the Barbarians brother. There's a series of those guys.
I've only seen the first one, and then they're
but what's great is you're gonna make it possible. So let's be real, not a lot of domestic figures, especially at retail, can do this. There's some great ones, but what you're doing here and all the posability is not necessarily something that folks on this side of the water are used to. I say that because in Japan, I just came from there, and here, Jay, I've got you one. They give this manual away for free in the store. SH figure, that's just to give you a sense of that. That's how much of posing is a part of the culture. And Bandai makes SH Figure Arts so that you can do this stuff. And literally they will take you and walk you through how to pose your figures.
Oh my, that's it. That's what I need.
This is free at the store. And when you send in a dumb dude from the United States, what he does is he grabs a pile and shoves it in his suitcase, which you're not really supposed to do in Japan. But hey, but no, the point is that's actually not a part of our toy collecting and playing culture in the same way as it clearly they're teaching people how to do it.
That's wild. So the posing catalog in the toy store.
But part of it is because our toys haven't been able to do what you're seeing right there on that screen.
Wow.
And these guys are going to be able to, especially for the big bulky guys who eat a lot of protein. So look at that.
Yeah, I patterned them after myself as well. You can't tell with this shirt on, but man, once I bust out of this shirt, it's ridiculous.
I can just seeing the musculature in the back, and then just how you've. I mean, what is that? The butterfly? I don't know all the names of the joints and everything.
Yeah, that's a butterfly joint right there. We patterned it. It's no secret. Mafex was our guiding light. If you've ever had a Mafex figure, especially the Superman Returns or the Batman Returns, Dark Knight Returns Batman, this type of size and bulk and articulation was something that really guided us. And we finally found an artist who was able to deliver on that. And I mean, he's just killing it. Dalfu Yan is his name. He goes by Pen, and he is just a master of the craft that nobody is aware of, really. And we're hoping no one steals him from us, because we're never going to let him go. So.
Just don't say his. I can't say his name anymore. That's the last time you can't.
Yeah, I get worried. I'm like, man, I love to give people credit where credit is due.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not done enough. And
yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you kind of named it as we went through these three, like you're going to have named characters, which I'm really excited about, as you know, because I've been excited about the artwork and some of the inspiration that you're pulling from. But then the ones that we were showing earlier, like those are sort of like army builder characters as well. So folks should definitely like be ready on Tuesday to kind of check this thing out and see all the awesome things they're going to have on offer. Because
yeah, I have some. You all shared some videos, our character videos.
Yeah.
So I'm
and this is on the old body, but it looks so good. We never shared it because we were getting all this media ready for our big launch, and at the very end, we realized that we needed to fix our 1.0, and then our artists just did it from scratch. And so, yeah, so we have all the stuff we haven't used, but it shows the type of detail we want in the paint and what the accessories are actually going to look like. So it's still usable. It's still great stuff. So hopefully everyone likes it.
Before we get to those real quick, I do want to just call out too. I don't know if you're using glue or anything for this scene, but if it can truly have this level of balance, like the center of gravity.
There's no glue. Nope. That's all the character right there. That's the figure.
That pose.
That's him, yes.
That's incredible.
On a prototype, on a 3D prototype.
Yeah.
From someone who just learned how to do it.
Yep.
And I have a 3D printer and wasn't able to print one thing off of it except like pieces of something.
Props, Jason. Respect.
Yeah, he killed it.
Well, I'm not going to talk about how my print turned out today. So
he's too rough on himself.
I couldn't regulate my heat. In my laundry room, so about 80% of it failed, but I ended up getting a couple of good pieces.
Well, before we get to the videos, I do want to plus in a couple of questions from the chat. Keep coming, keep them coming, everyone. If you want your questions.
Oh, there's the new prototype print there that he did today. It's our new Crowman head sculpt. The head needs to be raised up a little bit more on the ball joint, but.
So this, it doesn't snap on. The socket is not small enough to fit on the ball, but just to show you, there is a dumbbell here.
Wow!
And then the neck, right?
And the neck, which is huge.
I mean, look at the shoulders. They go out. They go in. They go back. And this is a prototype, man. Freaking prototype pen. My boy Pen is awesome. Yeah. No, I didn't print this today.
Oh,
I printed the head today, and I printed the axe today.
So Adam from Highly Articulated, who was on this show last week, was at Joe Fest and was able to. You're bringing these around, and he was also like really blown away by how well these move.
Yeah, he was really cool. I was glad to put it in the hands of people that are actually making toys, and got some great feedback. And Jason was able to play around with it too, who I've been a big fan of. I love apes, and I'm jealous of everything he's doing. So, yeah.
It looks so good. It looks so good. While you play with that, let me bring in some questions here. Will you guys be doing any weapon or armor packs from Thanoscopter?
Absolutely. We're going to have add-on tiers, especially for the basic barbarians, where you can, and he's showing this off right now, the greaves that are on Crowman and then the boots. You'll be able to add that to your basic barbarians to fill them out more, and to the base body.
Swap them out?
Yeah, of course we have to,
and the gauntlets,
and the gauntlets. Yeah, everything.
Oh wow!
And there's sculpt. Yep, and there's sculpt underneath of it. It's not plain. It's sculpted. Everything is sculpted. You can see details in the musculature, the veinage, and all that stuff. You can see it underneath the gauntlets and the greaves.
As it should be. That's great. I'm just thinking like Savage Crucible, AWOC does a similar thing where like, and which allows you to then do some customizing and do all sorts of cool display options, which is like a very modern play pattern.
Yep.
We're trying to blow people out of the water with our first offering because we've got so many ideas. We're definitely going to do an armor pack and a weapons pack. The weapons pack will expound as we hit certain tiers, because then the tooling for those additional weapons will be available. So the initial offering for a weapons pack is going to be, small, and the armor. But as we unlock more and more tiers, it's just we have 21 total characters. A lot of stuff is shared, but we're changing the deco, and then there's a lot of new stuff as well based on the character. I mean, you can see General Grimskull on Jason's computer in the back. He's got a cloth goods cape and some new chest armor that isn't on other characters, and boots and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Love it. All right, another question, Mike Davis. A wizard is a must in this line. Is there a wizard inbound, maybe?
We're gonna make everything in this line. and if not in this line, in another line. If we get funded, then we're creating other lines as well. So
I can't keep up with James' ideas. He's like the master planner, the master idea.
I'm just stealing stuff and just renaming it.
The best ideas are stolen.
Exactly. I mean, let's be honest.
Or inspired. Yep.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm a child of the 80s, so I have such.
Hell yeah.
I was born in the 70s, but yeah, child of the 80s.
Same.
Yep. Some dude was challenging on my 80s childhood about when I got action figures. I mean, I remember when I was 5 years old, and I remember know what year that was. I know what house I was living in.
Right? Isn't it weird how there's just those little milestones that kind of lock you into a place in time?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's when my action figure collection started, when I was 5. Like, I was all about He-Man, G.I. Joe, Star Wars. Oh, D&D. I mean, the Tiamat with the rubbernecks, right? With the wire in them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Toy Collector Magazine, maybe we might be having an article in there. I don't know. Maybe soon. Who knows?
That's great.
See. If you need an in, just let me know. I know the guy.
Yeah. He's a very nice guy.
Blake's awesome.
Blake is cool. Yes, he's an awesome guy.
But I like it's not stolen. It's an homage.
Absolutely, homage.
Yeah, the whole notion. The whole notion of like originality and you're taking my ideas, it's garbage. You're like,
I hate that.
Like we love the Transformers, which came from Diaclone in Japan, and like the Henshin Cyborg came from GI Joe, and that influenced GI Joe, a real American hero. Like that's what makes good toys. That's how toys evolve. So
Japan Spider-Man or Japanese Spider-Man is the whole reason for Sentai and
Spider-Man and Leopardon. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there wouldn't be no Power Rangers without Stan Lee. So
right, and there wouldn't be music without stuff that happened 4,000-5,000 years ago. Art just inspires the next generation of art.
Yeah, it really
Prince
does.
is the greatest artist of all time, but he definitely
pulled Prince pulled from so much, right?
Yeah, one of the top guitarists too.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to sneak that in there.
But he wasn't recognized for it.
He wasn't, but I remember as a kid, or when did his everyone knows about it now, but I taped his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Where he threw that guitar up in the air?
Yes. And I was just like, where did it go? Where did it go? But I taped it off of when it aired on VH1 or whatever. Yeah. And I would play it for people like, oh yeah, I guess it's really good. And now everyone's like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. But like, listen, I was on that shit 20 years ago.
Me too. It
looks so good. Ankle rockers on these bad boys.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No toe hinge right now. No toe hinge. This is our first foray into action figure, and I'm just scared that if we put a toe hinge in and it gets loose, that people's figures will be flopping. So
Amen.
I'm sorry.
No.
Maybe in the future, maybe there's a third party out there that can make toe hinge. But right now, I just want to make sure that these figures, when we deliver them, they last a long time. They're not diving off of
Get all
people's
floppy.
shelves.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my worst fear. I really just want to deliver everyone's, my dream come true. And
What
his.
about dealing with the weight of that gigantic axe? That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there'll be little ridges inside, just like all Martin
Gotcha.
figures.
Like
And as
kind of like a ratchet.
yeah, but
effect.
not a true like
Yeah,
some
not
like
a true
McFarlane.
ratchet.
Mark
Right.
McFarlane over ratchet stuff,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
thank you, Jace. McFarlane over ratchet stuff. If you just put ratchets in, there's the tension, and then there's a ratchet with joints that don't have pins. You lose out on tension, but you still put in a little bit of a ratchet in there. So we're definitely gonna, when we get the factory samples back, we're just he's got a little son. We're just gonna give him all of them and have him running around with it until they fall apart.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure it goes through the.
And if they
full
fall
test.
apart, we're gonna send it back and say no thanks. Update. Please.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that that's the beauty of this sort of like indie toy thing that's happening right now, is that as new toy makers come along, they're benefiting from everything that's come before, as well as the things that are happening at the same time. It's a conversation that then leads to improvements, experimentation, improvements, everything you just said. I'm assuming you've talked to other people about it and heard about, ratchets versus tension. Like that's the beautiful thing. And unlike, like a toy line, like say Masterverse, who's like spent so much on this body, you're not invested. You're starting from scratch. You get to like dial it in and then put it out in the world. So it's exciting. And then
and we have more bodies we're trying to create. And shout out to Anthony's Customs. I was watching one of his videos today about articulation. Thanks.
I do want to plus in a couple more questions before we get to the videos. Badass reviews. Guys, how many characters are we expecting in the first Kickstarter if we unlocked all the tiers?
21 characters.
Oh.
There are, I always get the number wrong, 13 male characters, 4 female characters, and 4 primal realm characters. So we have the 3 basic barbarians. We have 3 of our Shadar, the army builder, and that makes 6. And so there's 7 unique characters outside of that. And then there's Athena, which is our first female figure. There's 3 basic female barbarians. There's Lion Lord, our primal realm main character. And then there's going to be 3 basic primal realm characters, which is going to be Monkey King, Sun Wukong. So he's actually a character. There's going to be a Black Panther. Primal, because you can see on our Instagram our old primal realm buck. Basically, we're just going to add fur and additional accessories to the body we have. It's got no head on it. It's a furry body with no head on it. You see Lion Lord there. There it is, right there. But that shows you what the direction we're going to be going in for the primal realm figures. And then the last one is help me out, Jason.
Wolfman.
Thank you, Wolfman. So hopefully we're hitting a lot of points to begin with. So,
and depending on the popularity of our first Kickstarter here, if it all goes well, then we're thinking about different sizes. So increasing the size, so you can look at that primal realm, and if you increase the size there, you get a Sasquatch.
Ooh,
maybe.
So curious, since we were asking how many figures or whatever, if you're thinking and planning, you're like, I think I'm really into this line and I might want to consider getting everything, right? Recently with AWOC, they did like the epic all-in deal. How much money should people start to think about?
Let me do the math on that. Because we'll definitely give obviously we'd have to give a deal.
Price for each character.
We definitely have to give a deal on if they were to get all characters. So at least we'll say average. This isn't a final number because I'm still working on the numbers. But ballpark all in would be $525.
Okay, so what you're saying is I should maybe pause on the Tiamat, and then cool, noted.
Yes. Well, there's other things we're worried people will spend their money on instead of us. But Tiamat, I don't know.
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's not a diss at all, but just no. And I'm halfway being serious in terms of like, there's so many things coming. It helps to give us a sense. I think that's one thing that I hear a lot from people. It's like, well, Hasbro's like, calm down and think about our wallet. So it's helpful, I think, especially for someone of your size trying to launch a thing, to give people like some time to prepare and think about. And on that note, before we move on, how much time is this one going to run? Starting Tuesday?
45 days. So
Okay,
August 29th is our last day. We wish we could have done it sooner and not be up against San Diego Comic-Con and the impending doom of the G.I. Joe HasLab. But we can't wait any longer. And especially since we want to create more figures for next year, offer, a whole bunch more waves. We need to move on it now, because if we just waited till next year, then we'd have to wait even longer to issue more figures.
There's gonna be something every month. You just have to be a part of that month whenever.
Yeah. Wish things could have worked out better. We wanted to do it way earlier. If anyone's been following us, they know we keep saying Kickstarter soon, Kickstarter soon. So
Craig Wolfman asked, does this tier include creatine?
That's why I was laughing.
I was wondering about that question too.
No, it doesn't include creatine, but it increases T levels all around. So
hey, there you go. We need to do a commercial.
My question was, that was just like on the iron. That said, you can like support with one figure or one accessory pack, or you can just tip these guys and be like, I'm a patron of the arts. Here, just consider that.
I really hope everyone buys a figure, because I really want. But yes, absolutely. Thank you for saying that.
Yes, thanks, Brick. Absolutely.
I think I have it saved here. I'm posting. Yep. All right. No.
Yeah, we did the math. If everyone hopefully buys at least 3 figures, we would need around 1,300 backers. So,
okay.
Yeah. But if it increase, hopefully we've created such an affordable price, which I didn't even say how much the price was on our main characters. Go ahead.
No, please. What is?
On our main characters like Cronin, Ogun, the ones that have names, those are $36 because Kickstarter won't let me do $35.99. And then our basic barbarians are $30, and then we're going to offer for customizers a completely blank body with bare feet, and that's going to be less than $30. So,
is that for the one that you just said for customizers? Is that going to come in what color plastics are you thinking about for that?
That's a good point. I think we might just start off with flesh color, but we should.
Well, flesh comes in many different colors.
Exactly.
But like something closer to like this guy, you think?
We should do 3 different colors. We should do 4 actually. We should do gray, a primer. We should do light skin, or our color, tan, and we should do darker and lighter.
Yeah, no, I love it.
So maybe even kind of in between that. I don't know.
I mean, you've got to figure. I know you've got to make plans, and that might not work out the first time around, but definitely worth thinking about, because for me, that's a huge part of why I was really intrigued by the line, the way you've approached your character designs and brought in all sorts of influences from all over the world. So
we can easily do that. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Just throw it out there.
No, Brick, you're doing great, brother. We need to offer. I'll add that to the tier, because customizers are gonna want different base colors. Because some customizers like myself, I can't paint to save my life, so a base color of flesh would help out tremendously.
Exactly.
We could just do a dry brush.
And plus, it helps out with like if you do a full body paint of a flesh tone, you get that rub at the joints and stuff, and that would suck.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll add that in, man. Thanks, brother. We'll have to shout. We're definitely already planning on shouting you out on the Kickstarter. So.
No, man, it's just a matter of how much money of my money you get is what it is. So I'm just giving you tips on how to get some more.
We want it all, man.
Yeah.
Sell those Legos in the back.
Yeah.
I'll by the way, just sneak this in there. I'm a huge Lego guy too. That's how I'll start.
Yeah. Which is great, because the whole notion of removing parts and all that, I think, is very much in line with that design philosophy. It's great. Let people create their own worlds too.
Absolutely.
Cool.
How many of us haven't wanted to create our own barbarian for our own barbaric world? You know.
In terms of, I put the link to the Kickstarter in the chat that goes live on, well, I guess you said Monday night, midnight, I guess.
Yeah. I wanted some time to just go to sleep and wake up in the morning and see all the things I needed to fix and add. Like I'm already, need to add that. So.
You shared some videos. Which ones do you want to? I think I've got Gilgamesh, Owl King, Khan, Grimskull, and Shadar. Which ones do you want to start with here?
Let's start off with Owl King. That's one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, he is one of my favorites.
And he looks so good on this.
That's the old buck. Yeah,
but it still looks.
It still looks so good. Yeah.
When we first created him, I was like, and those pauldrons on his shoulder, they're going to be where they loop in under, so they move around and not hinder articulation. So just like Cronin's pauldron, they're going to be able to move with articulation.
Yeah. So when you say loop in under the shoulder,
there's going to be like a loop around it. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, like some of these figures where this moves with the
exactly.
arm.
Exactly.
Oh, smart. Good choices.
Yeah.
We're trying.
What do you want to do next? You want to do?
Everyone's going to need this.
Yeah, let's do Gilgamesh. We changed his name to Uruk, which is the city state that Gilgamesh created, because Gilgamesh in lore is actually like 7, 8, 9 feet tall. And these are the scale. He's going to be around like 6.5 feet tall. So we didn't want this to be our representation of Gilgamesh, just like inspired by. So
we have.
If you want to use him as Gilgamesh, by all means. But he's a badass Sumerian. Uruk is a city in Sumeria. So
that's an example of like that sort of armor, that beard type. These are things that we haven't gotten in Masters of the Universe or whatever. So this is just like allowing for us to like think more imaginatively about what our shelves could be like who, let He-Man go up against the ancient Sumerian and like, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, that's real world stuff right there. Exactly.
I mean, look at us. We're all different. I'm black and white. Jason is a Marine, a former Marine, always a Marine, and Jay's a dad. We're all different.
Boring ass dude. That's all I am.
That's the Great Khan. He is obviously of Asian descent, and he's got dragon scale armor. That cape is plastic. We may or may not keep that in the final design. I think because all of our media has it, we're gonna keep it, but it'll be removable just in case people think they don't like it or it hinders articulation. So it'll still be in it. But he's got this wonderful phoenix bow. What were you gonna say, Jason?
I was just gonna say, and it is a plastic cape, but it's gonna be a nice, soft, rubbery, flexible cape, not the hard plastic shit. Nobody likes that.
And he's got this wonderful phoenix bow that launches these arrows just out from the string, and just like the phoenix, they repopulate every time he draws a string. So kind of like a
beautiful.
So, and we got some great artwork from Ken Coleman. Is that metallic paint? Or oh no, we're not doing Vac Metal. I'm sorry. It's going to be metallic paint. We're just. I don't want to risk Vac Metal in that process right now. Maybe in the future.
You're not doing Silverhawks.
Silverhawks. Oh man, I don't want to get started with this Silverhawks drama. I'm sorry, guys. We shouldn't have made that so shiny. But that's General Grimskull. He's got a plastic cape on in that photo, but we're definitely going to be doing a
fabric soft goods,
wired soft goods.
Yes, and he's going to be a premium price because of that. He also has a lot of new accessories that'll be available. So he's going to be $45. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he's going to do $45, and he comes with this red death sword that glows, and he's the leader of the Shadar. Which born from the shadows. Yeah.
Some of his designs may change from this render here.
Yeah, if you look at our artwork, we still don't feel like it captures the artwork that Desar did. He was the first person to really conceptualize our ideas, and he has done it. It's not really the style that we wanted to go for. If you look on our Instagram, you can see a lot of stuff, but he conceptualizes what we're trying to do perfectly. We like a more Frazetta style, but how good he is, it doesn't matter to us. So, but we wanted to get closer to his artwork in terms of sinister looking, and the size of the helmet needs to be bigger, like Spaceballs. Just kidding. No.
Yeah, hold on. I got the image there, the artwork.
Oh, that's Ken Coleman's artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what he does is he actually takes our STL files, the files for the figures and the models, thank you, and then he paints and draws on top on. So this is like the real figure, real accessories, and then he paints on top of it. And he is the one that really brings forth that Frazetta style that we love. So we're excited to have him as our packaging artist. And you're the first one to reveal this picture.
Oh, snap!
This artwork is going to be in our Kickstarter launch video with some voiceover initially by myself, and then we have been lucky enough to get a huge name in the toy community in terms of like the history of toy creation, for especially with Marvel Legends and the whole adult collecting. So he's going to do a voiceover. Yeah. Don't want to jinx it, but we're really excited.
Well, you just have to make sure I post the link. I'll put the link in again, but you're gonna have to make sure you follow the page. Notify. It goes live on tomorrow night, Monday night,
12:01 Tuesday morning.
Yes, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, this art looks fantastic.
Yeah. Ken Coleman is just doing a ridiculous job.
So cool.
Yeah. So, and he just keeps creating, just making all types of stuff. We're looking forward to it. And maybe even in the future, we can turn this into like a collectible card game or a picture book that we include. But that really captures the Great Khan's ability with that Phoenix bow. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And there's Ogun there.
Ogun.
Yeah. And that sword is called the Ngombe sword. I looked it up today to get the actual like name of it. It's called Ngombe. And then I named the shield after Yoruba words for power of wisdom. So it'll show that on our Kickstarter. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's got a cool name.
How many decades of big buff warriors have we gotten, and not once have we gotten anything inspired by Yoruba culture, right? Or like that's what I'm talking about. And
wait till Filipino.
I know it's in the chat, and I told him like we've been talking. We're gonna get those.
We're gonna get them. We're gonna get
there.
them. We're gonna get South American, Central American,
hell yes,
Mexican, everything. Irish,
and it's not
German.
Yeah. And the way I've been saying it is just it expands the palette of all the fun stuff that we'll get to play with, folks. Like, yes, skin tone is a piece of it, but like think about all the different armor sets, the colors of the armor, the types of weapons, all this stuff that I would argue you have been denied for decades. We're gonna start to get. So I'm all about it. Yeah.
Every culture has created something amazing. And and especially for this type of body or type of character, warrior characters, every culture has had a warrior that has been something truly incredible to witness. Thankfully, we haven't gone up against them, but we want to capture that. Like, think of Jaguar warrior or Eagle warrior, Zulu warrior, Scottish, Braveheart type stuff. My last name is Scottish. So
while we're there, it was cool. You saw the reaction from this group, and in the chat when you mentioned like, oh, we're doing women and multiple characters. Like, that's a big deal. Are you going to kind of like give us women in similar like armor sets and cultures? Like,
absolutely. Definitely. There's no way we could do them. Do them differently. We're working on Athena right now. The silhouette. We've got her head sculpt pretty much done. And Desar did the conceptual art, which you shared, her naked body.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna give the women the same treatment as the men. But everyone's gonna look the epitome of what if you lived in this world,
what it
you
takes
could
to
look
survive
like.
in this world. Yeah.
The creatine and beef supplies in this world are
Red meat.
infinite.
Yeah, look up muscle mommies and you'll get an idea of the direction.
but not during work times.
No. And
oh my goodness. If you all want to follow some different, like Pixel Dan, D Amazing has a prototype. I guess professionally painted by Nico from Artman Customs, shot by 16 Shooter.
And Robo is just
Robo's got some too.
Yeah, he got Cronin in from us, and I think he's adding it to his Playday video that he's doing.
Sweet.
So hopefully soon we'll see his thoughts on it. Hopefully he liked it a lot because we're big fans of Robo. Yeah, we're looking forward to that too. Hopefully that'll be later on this week. And we're sending prototypes out to other people too. Hopefully we get good feedback on it and, making the rounds. I wish I could send it to everybody. I know a lot of people are like, send me a prototype to review. I wish we need to get a lot of these prototypes painted as well, because we're going to be at Joe Lanta in September.
Brand new company, folks. The funds are, that's why they need your help with the crowdfunding. Maybe they'll be able to send out toys that people want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I put the link in several times. People that are watching this on the replay, I'm going to put it in the comments, in the description for this episode. Click on that link, bookmark it, set your reminders for it. Goes live Tuesday morning, 12:01 or midnight tomorrow on Monday. The price ranges for the main character is going to be around $36. For
even less. Oh yeah, for the main characters, yes.
Main characters, and then it was around $30 for your generic people. 21 characters total could potentially be unlocked. What was it? 4 women, 4
beast characters, primal
beast characters.
Yeah,
and then so 8 minus 21. What does that leave for the dudes?
13.
13 fellas. Right out of the gate, which is great. A lot of times people that love to add female characters is like, well, we'll get to those in wave 7 or whatever. No, it's
that's
nice
what we're planning to do,
that.
but the fans were like, no, you've got to do it now.
So all of this goes down this week. You've got the full support here of the GDL channel. I know Brick's been touting y'all for forever.
You're the man.
But anywho, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you for the time.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
And just bravo on the designs, the diversity in the line. Like I hope and just for all of the success for you all.
Yep,
we'll need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tuesday till August 20-something. Yep.
We don't make women at all, Todd McFarlane.
Yep.
Not us.
Which
not
is
us.
great, because you can then go to Brutal Realm and other companies for that.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much. I mean, you're free to hang on. We're gonna hit a couple other things before we wrap up here, but yeah, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
It.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Brick, we got to hit Vecna from Super 7.
Yeah, we have.
Is that what people really wanted us to talk about?
Yeah, I've kind of put it in the thumbnail of mine, and we didn't get to it. And I said, "Oh yeah, hang out on Geek Dad Life. We're totally talking Super 7 today."
Can I just before and again, hold on, I lost it on this Instagram. We'll hopefully Kyle will join, or maybe we'll get someone from Super 7 to join our Comic-Con preview show next week. But let's talk about, before we get to Vecna, what's our thoughts on this?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was wondering how they reuse that mold.
Are we it's cool. Who's buying this? Who has the space?
Well, let's hear from the folks who are about to be toy makers.
Yeah, exactly. What are you all soliciting people to buy your stuff? What's your thoughts?
I mean, you have to reuse the mold. It costs them so much. Like,
Sure.
It's a crap ton of money for molds.
people don't understand, how much it costs to create these molds, especially something as big as I've heard that thing is.
It's huge. I have one. It's sitting
yeah.
up there on my shelf.
And it's
Massive.
and it's got such like unique styling to it. I was wondering, like, are they going to do a news van with it, which is the easy go-to?
Yeah. I think I would have done something more dark for Casey Jones instead of something like this, because I mean the Turtles already have their original van.
Ooh, a Casey Jones van. I like that.
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah. I mean this is just it's like a clown car. I don't know. Clown car.
Ooh.
Damn, Jason being real right now.
Jason being brutal.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Here, I will step into White Knight a little bit on that. So like Brutal Realm as an IP, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, very different, right? Dark, grim, girl. Essentially, these started with the Playmates, like very different,
sure.
right? So it's light, it's fun, it's like and goofy and like, hey, it's Mikey. Here's my van and my pizza. Like to me, like I saw this, I was like, okay, that's brilliant, particularly for an SDCC exclusive where it's like, well, actually, I don't even know if it's fully exclusive. Is it fully exclusive?
I think so.
Okay.
Or maybe it's
just,
debuting at
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
Yeah. But
I
it's
tell
just
you what,
like it's for those hardcore fans who are like, oh, that's fun, that's cool. And frankly, like there is way more foot traffic at a San Diego Comic-Con of the highest concentration of nerd caliber. Like you don't get that anywhere else. And so I bet that there are people who don't watch Toy Geeks or, don't follow everything Super 7 does, who are going to come by and go like, oh, that's cool. This might be the one like cool, goofy thing in their collection.
Yeah.
So
you can see that at a pizza joint. I'll tell you two things though. I think I'm sorry.
Go for it.
But those hubcaps need to be able to come off.
They do, I believe.
They do.
The pizza does. The pizza comes off.
And it should have had a pizza launcher, like an old school toy.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have the molds. They are. What you have to do is offer something new when you use the same molds, especially something this big. A pizza launcher is, everyone remembers the toy with the pizza launcher in it. That's a gimme right there.
Yeah.
I have so many views on Super 7 though.
Same.
Trust me, we've espoused our feelings on Super 7 many a time, and hurted plenty of our friends' feelings along the way. But to me, the news van is what we would all want them to repaint this to be, right? It's the easy play. And to your point, there's things you'd have to adjust to it to make it work like the news van. But still, overall, you could pretty much use the same tooling outside of a few changes. And that, I think, would incite more people to buy it. If this is like a Comic-Con exclusive, and to Brick's point, it's just like, it's a fun thing. Like, it's not trying to sell 5,000 of these or whatever, like it's just trying to.
Well, they need to sell at least 1,000 probably.
But that's the thing. Like, do you see? Because I think I have to remember, I did the video review of it. They only made a few thousand of the classic turtle van.
Yeah, you have to order in the thousands at least, or at least you have to hit 1,000 minimum order quantity.
Minimum order. Yeah,
it's very rare that if you do less than that, you normally are offering a repaint to get you up to 1,000 or more.
But to that point, like, I personally, if you only sold, I think maybe it was like 3,000 at most of the classic van,
then you gotta half it. Yeah, at least.
I don't see how you sell 1,000 of these things. I don't see an audience to sell that many.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're just putting it up. But also, that's probably why they're putting off the news van, is because they know that's the one everyone wants. So you always hold that one off for some reason. It's just the name of the game, unfortunately.
Well, like, again, this is that fun toy tube thing where we all guess and like sound as if we know what we're talking about. So I'm going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about. But is there a world where they plan for this and they, in the initial run of the first thing, that they're like, hey, can we do a smaller number of
Sure.
these with
Yeah, give us like
different
100 or
drastic
something in
change,
this deco.
right? Yeah, and then in which case they've been sitting on it and just because they know that there's going to be a Comic-Con and there truly is a limited amount.
That's a lot of inventory space, though. That's the only reason that I would think they didn't have it pre-made in the initial order.
Fair.
Is how big that thing is and how much inventory space that costs. That negates the profit that you're going to make off of it, especially since you don't know how many pre-orders you're going to get on it. So I get your point on that, but I don't see how they would do that.
I don't know. Again, this is the pretend game of ToyTube. Let's be real.
Yeah. It is like, and again, a lot of time, and this is what's fun about over the years doing this channel and befriending people that do these, like make the toys, and they'll be like, yeah, Jay, you're an idiot. This is why it's this or this. I'm like, okay, I get it. But you know, we're just having fun.
So Jason and I learned so much doing this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just like, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like,
it's like, all right.
I never understood so many things, and then once I started like talking to actual factories, and Vonner was like, no, you moron, you can't do that. And I was like,
So if you take away all of the like, how are they gonna pull it off? If I'm just looking at it as an item, I will just say that it's a pretty cool item for this brand and for Super 7 at Comic-Con. I think this is the kind of like when I go to Comic-Con, I'd come home with random things that I never thought I would just because like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't know I wanted it like here. So I don't know. It makes sense to me on that level. And of course their design game is on point. Like the brand about it, the logo for this.
Sure. Like if you're a pizza collector, like Coca-Cola collectors, if you're a pizza collector, this would be right up your alley.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully it sells.
Pizza collector, yeah.
I don't hate Super 7, for the record.
I don't think any of us do. I just think a lot of times we question some of their moves or how they.
I like what they're doing. I just don't like their execution.
Yeah.
Like their articulation. Why? What are you guys thinking?
And that's where they
Jason, don't get us in trouble.
They finally updated.
I mean, I collect their
Ninja Turtles, right?
I have to. I'm collecting their toys.
Let's talk about those updated Ninja Turtles.
Well, I was just gonna say, see my earlier point about like they have an investment already, right? And they know what they know a thing. Their team knows a thing. Their engineers know a thing. Their factories know a thing.
So then
it's actually a kind of a big deal for them to do what they're doing with these updated articulation. It takes some time, investment, a learning curve that simply didn't exist. So
let's talk about those Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna get in big trouble for this. None of their promo photos show the articulation that they keep telling everyone that it has. It doesn't show any forward or side movement. This is supposed to be soft now, and it's supposed to have better articulation, but it doesn't show it. And for their biggest thing is that people talk about their articulation, and they're saying now that we're including this, if it was able to do it, they should have shown it.
But to also defend them here, this is Turtles. Like they probably can't get approval to show whatever figure because it has to be approved by 7,500 different people to then eventually show. So
they're showing the production photos there, but it doesn't show the articulation that they're.
Well, these are render photos though. These aren't like 3D printed.
Even more of a point why it should be showing something that everyone wants them to be able to do.
I think hopefully we'll see it at Comic-Con because I agree. This is a big promise. Yeah. It's a big promise.
They've never delivered on articulation before, so it's important. It's imperative that they show that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's
really early too. Yeah. It's really early. Once these are just rendered, introduce the concept, have a talking point to be able to hey, this is what we're doing, new articulation. Then they'll start showing them off, and I think that will be the point at which to be real, ask those kinds of questions.
They've got great artists. Brandon Gash is a great artist. So I mean, if they wanted him to do it, he could do it.
Absolutely.
So
what's this, Jay?
Yeah, their renders are gorgeous.
I'm so glad you're talking about this, Jay. I've been wanting to talk about this.
Vecna. D&D Vecna. Not the Stranger Things Vecna.
Can't
It
go
looks
wrong
dope.
with Dungeons
What's
and
that?
Dragons. Can't go wrong with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that's where I'm excited about. This felt like a nice surprise because this Vecna was never in the cartoon, right? Am I right?
No, he wasn't in the
Okay,
cartoon.
so it was like it signals a bunch of things. I mean, first,
Absolutely.
like, what is their license, right? So like we're all again that whole like toy tube business, like, well, they can't do this. Like, I don't like, how do you know? So now we're seeing they have the ability to release things that were not in the cartoon. This design, right? Obviously, they have to draw from whatever existing art there is of Vecna, but they're creating a thing. And so I don't know. That to me it's really exciting on multiple levels. And I also think it's just a cool looking creature. So, you know, I hear you. What in terms of like, oh, they've never been able to deliver on articulation, etc. So like, I don't know what this will move like, but
Well,
that might not be what I'm looking for if I've already
Yeah.
invested in their D&D stuff.
That's the thing,
Ultimates.
and we've said it time and time again, right? Super 7, like Quip saying, makes beautiful renders. The physical figures are where they can fall apart and have fallen apart in the past. But yeah,
Oh, look, Jason, we liked it.
wait, what?
Oh, wait, on their official photo, we liked it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Is that it?
On the first.
Oh yeah,
time.
there it is right
Second
there. Yeah. That's
Looking
funny.
from the top.
But oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. But to me, if
love that,
they
dude.
actually translate this to figure form, I think it's a really cool step in a really neat direction for sure.
This is a game changer for them if they pull this off, and it's not a traffic cone under there, and maybe there's a ball joint at the waist.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all you need for this character is a good single joint and a ball joint and some articulation under that. This is a great step for them.
Yeah, or even the spine. It could be rubber with wire in there, like Kulu World skeletons. I love their skeletons, and they did the rubber spine or backbone with a wire in it, and you can get some crazy articulation with that, and it looks so good.
I'd be worried that break down.
I think
Yeah.
Another thing, and again, I don't want this to be the Super 7 bashing show, but their paint, like, to me, sometimes the paint doesn't, or they don't use enough paint. They usually kind of rely too much on their plastic, but the paint here looks incredible in this render. So I think you just got to make sure whatever they're doing with the figure, they got to paint it. It's got to have good paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone showed me this photo. I think it was NECA. If I didn't see it was Super 7. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I was holding this up in terms of like articulation, but some of my favorite Super 7 stuff is the worst, their own IP, where they are unfettered and they can kind of just create. And this thing moves well. It's, you know, obviously it's not like what you guys are going to be putting together, but like, I love how this moves. I wish that this switched up it a little in the back, but like, there's some really great things going on in this figure. So with what I'm seeing in that Vecna, like, I'm not worried. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And they have a little bit more freedom to kind of like play and create. So.
I'm thinking it's going to be coming with soft goods, like the worst, like that skirt or that wrap there. Looks like it could be soft goods, and I hope it is.
That would be great. And hopefully
awesome.
It's better than the one that came with this. But
yeah, it doesn't look like rubber.
No.
So there you go, Liquid Identity.
Their accessories are awesome. Look at the sword.
We talked about Vecna. Yay!
No, I think it's really great, and I hope that, again, if they have something on the floor at San Diego Comic-Con and you've got all these nerds walking by, I'm hoping they get some attention and are like, hey, I didn't even realize what Super 7 was, or I didn't even realize they make Dungeons and Dragons figures, and they'll be like, what, they're doing Tiamat too? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some smart stuff going on over there.
I hope I see a picture of that turtle just, you know, bent a little forward and a little to the side.
Listen, I think Kyle said he's going to let me do a walkthrough. I mean, Pixel Dan, everybody's going to do a walkthrough, but I'll do a walkthrough too. And that's the first thing I'm going to be like, listen, I'm hearing, we need to see this articulation you're talking about. So we need to see it in real life.
Yeah,
I'll be all in if it'll be my second Super 7 figure I've ever bought. My first one is Mumra. and
Oh man, you had to get Mumra. You had to.
had to.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna wrap it up. Next week, everybody, next Sunday, our big pre-Comic-Con show. We're inviting a bunch of our toy industry friends. Don't know who will show up yet, but definitely stay tuned. But Ryan Dole is gonna be our co-host on that one. Love us some Dolers, and we're definitely gonna dig into whatever Comic-Con stuff we haven't tapped into yet. Mondo unveiled their Comic-Con stuff. So I think a lot of fun things to tap into there pre-Comic-Con, and then of course on this channel we'll be at Comic-Con along with so many other of our toy tuber friends. But we're doing our usual walking around the floor, looking at stuff, talking to people. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Again, Jason and James from Realm Toys. Brutal Realm dropping tomorrow, or I guess Tuesday morning, Monday night, whatever, midnight, 12:01 on Kickstarter. Eastern. Is it Eastern?
Eastern, yeah.
I had to double check being the West Coast kid.
Sorry, I'm East Coast.
Eastern Daylight Time, EDT. The Kickstarter will go live, and I posted the link in the chat. I'll post it in the description as well. Brick, you got anything fun things coming up on your channel this week? You just did a show.
No, I'm done. No, absolutely. Every Sunday at 3:45 my time, 6:45 Jay's time, before this show, I do a thing called the Brick Something News. Me and a co-host, we kind of go through a bunch of stuff. Brutal Realm was one of these things that we talk about. It's whatever's cool that we want to talk about. Jay was on there 2 weeks ago, pre-recorded. Yeah. Spreading that love for that HasLab Cantina. And then you
made some great points in that.
I just came back from Japan, so I've got a ton of content that I want to throw out there. And I'll say this, there's a new show that's going to be on my channel and on Cobweb Collector called Into the Masterverse. If you're into the Masterverse, you might want to check it out. We're going to go through release by release and really just give it the love that both Cobweb and I feel like it hasn't had and it deserves. So check that out.
Brick Something's channel's in the Friends of GDL on this page down there somewhere if you're watching on your computer, or you search Brick Something on the YouTubes. Patrons, after this show, going to be talking about my San Diego Comic-Con mistakes. Gary's going to be joining me for that. I've been going since 2006, every single one. So however many years that is, 18 years, 17 years, somewhere around there. And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I'm approaching Comic-Con with a different vision to my toy collecting. So I'll be talking about that in After Dark and as well sharing my recent hauls. But again, thanks to Brutal Realm. Go check it out. Brick Something. Thank you. I always love hanging out with man. Love hanging out with you, my friend.
Hey, wait, are we not giving away the Tiamat prototype?
Oh, you're right.
No, we didn't hit the like goal. I just checked.
Oh, did we not hit the like goal?
We didn't. No, we didn't. So next time, watch next week with all his industry friends. He's going to be giving away that beautiful prototype.
Draw a little Tiamat, my own Tiamat on here.
So tune in next week, folks.
All right. That's it on this episode. Thank you, everybody, so much. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego. And goodbye.